The dust has settled from Tuesday's defeat at Bangor City. As you've had time to reflect personally, what are your thoughts?
Still disappointed to go out of a cup competition, but what it will give us is obviously more time to focus on the league. You know, every Clyde and all that. It's not a nice position where you've gone out in two competitions at the first hurdle, but our main focus is always the league anyway, so it does give us more time to prepare, and also it gives us more time for the players to sort of get a bit of downtime at the right time. So when they need to get time off, they'll get time off. When they need to work hard, they'll work hard. So yeah, it's still disappointing. It's not going to go away because you don't like losing games. Yes, we've lost two ties on penalties. We've drawn both games, but it's still the same as a defeat, and it's still disappointing to be at that cup competition.
And still thinking of Bangor City, but in particular with the players in mind, and then looking ahead to the Barrytown United game, has there been any need for personal motivation on your part towards the players, or have they responded well themselves?
No, really good in training yesterday. So it's nice to see a few faces back that have been injured for the last few weeks as well. So we've got good numbers in training, and nearly everybody fit for the weekend. So it's nice that we've got a full squad to select from. And if you look at Tuesday's game against Bangor, didn't want to make a substitute because we had three young boys on the bench, and I just didn't feel it was right to throw them into that sort of environment. So the 11 players that started obviously finished that game, and it was one where, okay, we haven't played well, can you get out of it? And unfortunately we got the goal back and missed out on the penalty shootout. So nice to see a few faces back and ready for Saturday. You move on from it as in terms of, right, Tuesday's gone, Saturday's here, Barry, big game for us, good test. They've started the season well, they're in a good place like they were last season. Decent squad, good starting lineup, very strong, and one where they can beat anybody in the league, and they've shown that. So we've got to be at our best on Saturday, and I don't think too many times this season we've been at our best but got results. That also shows a good team now. That all shows a team that are not willing to give anything up, and still got that hunger and desire to be that top team, which I know they have. Difficult sort of performances since Europe, but where we are in the league, I think you take that point off the top, with very few games started, and nearly into October, so it's not all doom and gloom. Yes, we're out of the cup competitions, but league is always our priority, and if we do win and go top of the league, it certainly looks like a lot healthier.
Scott, you stole the words from my mouth, because I was going to say in the next question, it's not all doom and gloom, because it's a second v first clash at Park Hall tomorrow. The incentive for both sides is very clear going into that game. For the New Saints in particular, win, and a quarter of the way through the season, time certainly flies, it'll be 2 points clear at the top of the JD come Premier.
Yeah, and there's no bigger incentive to stay top of the league. The longer you stay level pegging or just behind teams, gives them that incentive, gives them that desire to come here and say, well, we're on a level playing field. If we look at the bigger picture, we look at our squads to the rest of them, we're even the most ardent fans of the league, or the people that talk about TNS would have to say that we've got the best squad in the league, without a shadow of a doubt. The problem is we've had a little bit of problems with consistency. Once we get that consistency, then we don't usually look anywhere else apart from ourselves.
We've already looked back to Tuesday, but now we're going to look back to 2018-2019. We played Barrytown United 5 times, 4 in the league and once in the Welsh Cup, and it was a very impressive statistic for the New Saints. Won 4, drew 1, scored 15 and only conceded 3. that was then, this is now, but perhaps some opponents, their style of play suits the New Saints.
Yeah, certainly. You look at other teams and you can't put your finger on why you don't play well against them, or at certain grounds you don't play well against them. It's all the same. You play on a pitch with a football. It's not always the case. There's certain things that players have in their heads with certain teams and players. But yeah, last season I think we did very well against Barry. They're a very attack-minded team. Like to play here on the counter-attack. So we always work towards looking to make sure that we don't get counted. We don't attack with so many players, or we keep certain players in positions to combat that and counter that. So I like the way they play, Barry. You can tell that they've got a very good team mentality. You can tell by the way they celebrate and the way that they conduct themselves on the pitch. They're a very, very strong outfit, and with very good attacking intent. So we've got to be wary of them.
And we've already played Barrytown United once this season, albeit in a pre-season friendly, although both sides at that time were looking ahead to European competition, so there was certainly an intensity about the game, and that was a very impressive 6-1 to the New Saints at Jenner Park. How important would a result like that be going into tomorrow's game?
Not of great importance if you look at the teams that we probably had out and they had out. For us it was minutes and preparing for European competition just like they were, so we're probably at a more advanced stage than they were, or a fitter stage than they were at that time of the game, so I don't take a lot into it. They've started the season very well. They're unbeaten, aren't they? So it's one where they're obviously doing the right things and they're obviously at a good level, because to stay unbeaten is a sign of a very good team.
And we do look at statistics a lot as well in press conferences. Perhaps we get the negative one out of the way first. The New Saints has conceded 9 goals so far this season. Barrytown United, Connors Key Nomads, they're both on 4, but TNS is the leading goal scorer in the league, 23. We have to go to Ballatown, who have scored 14, to find the second best team. And then when we look at goal difference overall, TNS is plus 14. Well, it's Barrytown United who have plus 6 overall. They're in second place. How much of a concern does the goals conceded give you personally, or do you see the big picture and you look at the fact that we've scored more than anyone else, considerably more, and also we have a considerable goal difference over our second placed rivals, Barrytown United?
Yeah, look at it both ways. I mean, we're always going to score more goals than everyone else because we've got the best attacking players. However, last season we had the best defensive record, so I'm not happy about conceding 9 goals already when we only got conceded 16, was it last season, or 14 or 16, wasn't it? So it doesn't take a mathematician to work out that we can't concede many more to get where we were last season. Yes, we will get back to clean sheets, yes we will get back to defensive solidity and whatever, but it is a little concern, because if you're going into games with 3, 4, 5 clean sheets behind you, the likelihood is that you're only going to concede 1 or get another clean sheet the next game. When you're going in and you're conceding goals, the mentality is we haven't kept clean sheets. So look, we need to do better. We know we need to do better. We also have scored a 6 and a 10 in 2 games, which has given us our good record of the goal difference. But we need to score more goals in other games. We haven't been prolific in other games, so it's a bit of a double-edged sword there with the goal scoring. I think we need to do better. I think we need to be better in the final third. Our decision making at times is inconsistent. We don't look to pick the right balls out. We're not creating enough chances to make the keeper work. We're not having enough chances on target. Our first shot, which was off target the other night, was on 30 minutes. So that tells you that, yes, we're dominating possession, but we're not creating and hurting. So for me, it's let's get the ball forward earlier and let's test the keeper, and let's have let's have not as much side to side passing, and let's test the keeper out. It's these are things we need to work on, and we will do.
And it's no secret, of course, that the New Saints has had a number of injuries this season. How much of a factor has that been in the perhaps lack of clean sheets or the inconsistency that you've already referred to?
Yeah, I'm not going on record to say it, but it's the worst injury sort of record we've had since I've been here. I've been at the club since 2001, so 18 years. It's as worse as we've had, to date. So to have 9-10 players out injured isn't good, but it also does give other members of the squad a chance to show what they can do. So I don't cry about injuries because they're injured for a reason. We're either working them too hard or they're not fit enough. So it's a mixture of both on that one. If you get an injury through a tackle or you fall awkwardly, then so be it. But if you're getting a muscle injury, we need to have a look at what we're doing in training. And yes, we want to get the squad fitter, but like you say, there's a reason for it, and we need to find the reason. And then for the rest of the season, we need to make sure that we don't have a predicament like this again.
And then finally, what is the player availability for the game against Barry Town?
Yeah, I think we've only got probably one or two not available. Everyone else will be available for selection.